Hello people and welcome to my ultimate guide to combat griefers on Red Dead Online. First of all, let's define who is a griefer. Personally, I would say that anyone who shoots you first in free roam for no apparent reason is somewhat considered a griefer or a weirdo. I know that this is a West End game and people can shoot you if they want to, and I completely agree with that. No complaints here. You as a player are in a very dangerous environment, and you're supposed to be always ready for hostile encounters. Since the introduction of defensive playstyle, I personally have found it to be very useful against weirdos, but still, I think griefers shoot you regardless of your playing style. In this guide, I'm going to teach you how you can effectively use the defensive playstyle to counter griefers. At the same time, you will also learn what is defensive mode and how exactly does it work, how to get started in free aim and find the right sensitivity. And third, how to choose and utilize your equipment and ability cards. And last, tips and strategies in order to counter hostile players. So when you change your playstyle to defensive in online options, the game is going to offer you a completely different experience. All sorts of auto aim and aim assist will be disabled in free roam PvP, meaning that you cannot use these features against other players, and the same applies to other players against you. You cannot deal or receive headshots against other players. You also take 20% less damage compared to offensive players. You're not able to be hogtied, meleeed or lassoed by other players. However, you can try and free aim lasso the players who are hostile and bright red on the minimap. Remember that you cannot use this playstyle to attack or grief other players. In case you shoot another player unprovoked, you will get kicked out of defensive mode and receive a hostility penalty, meaning that you won't be able to use the defensive playstyle for some time until your hostility cools down. This playstyle is great for people who don't like to randomly shoot others first. When other players deal damage to you, they will turn bright red on your minimap. You can kill bright red players as self-defense and still maintain your defensive playstyle. You're not supposed to shoot anyone who is not bright red on the minimap. Since defensive mode disables the auto aim, let's look at how you can get better at free aim so you can defend yourself. If you have never played any games in free aim before, it would be a wise idea to max out the aim assist strength and slowly decrease it over time as you're getting used to the free aim controls. The aim assist is not going to help you if you're getting attacked while you're in defensive mode, so you're gonna have to gain some free aim experience first. The best way to practice free aim and find the right sensitivity is come to Thieves Landing. There are loads of NPCs here that you could practice on, and also at the same time you will gain loads of XP and level up, since free aim settings gives you 20 extra XP on each kill. Additionally, by searching the bodies, you're going to find loads of items to consume or sell to the fence right next to you. So this place can earn you money, XP and free aim skills. So one sensitivity is not going to work for everyone. You're welcome to try my sensitivity, but I do not believe that the same settings would work the same for everyone. My suggestion is to max out all aim and look sensitivities, and then while practicing shots on the NPCs, you can slowly find the best combination of acceleration and dead zone by yourself. Note that the third person sensitivity is not affecting the sniping. Instead, the first person sensitivity is going to be your focus when you're trying to train your sniping skills. So I don't suggest anyone to have the same sensitivity for both first and third person, since the controls and movement feels a lot different in them. In general, I would suggest you guys to carry a sniper rifle at all times and just practice while you're in free roam. Shoot animals, NPCs, whatever. Any moving target that is going to teach you trigger and movement discipline. Over time, you will improve a lot, and offensive mode griefers are going to have a nightmare dealing with you. Let's talk about your inventory and cards. Most important thing to carry at all times are tonics. It is almost impossible to be killed in defensive mode if you are well equipped with tonics. Defensive mode by itself is not going to completely protect you against griefers. I've tried this with my friends and asked them to try and grief me while I'm not taking any tonics. Indeed, I died many times, since 20% extra health is not going to save you while you're fighting posses and shotgunners. The cheapest way to max out on tonics is to craft them by yourself at the campfire. The best tonic in my opinion is the Potent Health Cure, since it only takes 1 ginseng and 1 yarrow to craft, and it gives you a level 2 protection. I've left a link to a map in the description that is going to help you to find these herbs without spending any money. You can also buy these herbs from Madame Nazar for $1 each. So if you want to buy the herbs instead, it's going to cost you $2 per potent health cure. But this is still cheaper than level 1 health cure from the catalog. You can carry 20 or 30 of them at once, depending on your satchel. When you're near hostile players and you notice that they're aiming at you, take one of these tonics, since they are going to make sure that you're not going to die with one shot, even to an explosive bullet. Additionally, use them in fights when you've lost about half your health, so it can guarantee you to stay in the fight longer. Next stuff you need are dynamite arrows and incendiary buckshot pamphlets. They are super easy to craft, but they're a bit expensive, and if you haven't unlocked them, look out for Rockstar rewards, as you often get this type of special ammunition from different promotions by Rockstar or outlaw passes. These are very effective when you're alone against the posse. So let's move on to your Deadeye and ability cards. For Deadeye, I would suggest you to go with either Focus Fire if you like to do more damage, or Paint It Black if you prefer to be more accurate instead. I personally prefer to be more accurate while shooting. Even though the defensive mode disables the target paint on other players, you can still get some accuracy while shooting in Deadeye. Additionally, you can also paint the enemy player's horses while they are chasing you. I suggest you to paint the horses with any special arrow or buckshots, since it will knock them off the horse and will give you time to escape. Since you already get 20% damage resistance while in defensive mode, you don't really need any defensive cards except for Fool Me Once. This card becomes almost too broken if you pair it with Tonics. You will be nearly impossible to kill. And your other two cards, I would suggest you to go with damage cards such as Winning Streak, Landon's Patience, Sharpshooter, or Gunslinger's Choice. Pick two of these depending on your playstyle. Lastly, let's talk about your weapons loadout. For people who don't have much experience with free aim, I suggest you to use the dual sawn-offs when getting attacked. If you use the Winning Streak or the Gunslinger's Choice ability card, these sawn-offs are going to be super deadly in combating griefers in close range. As you eventually get more accurate in free aim, you can try to switch them to pistols or revolvers to take things a bit further. The only downside with these shotguns are you run out of shells really fast. The next essential gun is going to be your trusty sniper rifle. I personally like to use a Carcano rifle, since I can play extremely fast and aggressive with it in combat. The only downside is that in order to get one-shot kills with this weapon, you're going to have the ability card Landon's Patience and Sharpshooter at the same time. For people who are not level 50 yet to unlock the Carcano rifle, or have a slower playing style, you could go for the rolling block rifle instead. This rifle shoots slower, but does greater damage when you compare it to the Carcano. In order to get one-shot kills with this weapon, you only need one damage card. For your other long arm, I would suggest either a bow or the Lancaster repeater if you're using the dual sawn-offs. Otherwise, I would go with a semi-automatic shotgun, since you can get easy kills with it while hip firing. Now let's talk about some strategies that are going to help you when the situations get hairy. If you're a hunter, make sure to invest in a hunting wagon. Even if a player destroys your wagon, you will still keep your carcasses when you're calling it back. If you don't have the wagon, make sure to always flee your horse when you're near hostile players, since you can always call it back and keep your carcass safe. If you keep your horse while in action, you risk losing them. When you're outnumbered or not interested in fighting back, don't ever leave the session, since it will give the griefers the satisfaction of making you leave the game. Instead, with the methods I've showed, try to injure the griefers' horses while they're trying to chase you. Once you knock them off, try to get to a nearest fast travel post and teleport into a different area. If a griefer is using recent players options or PlayStation communities to spawn right next to you, you can block them on PlayStation, Xbox or Social Club. This is going to prevent them from doing it again to you in the future. If you find yourself outnumbered often, consider joining a Red Dead community, since it is always good to get help from other players in your community in case you need it. I would also suggest everyone watching this video to leave your platform and gaming ID in the comments so you can get to know and help each other. Alright people, I think I covered a lot of different things on this video. I hope that this is going to be very helpful to you. Once you get a hang of these, briefers are going to be nothing to you but bots. By the way, if you're interested in further supporting my content, you can now join the channel as a member. In return, you will get a chance to add me on PlayStation and participate in my gaming sessions, even when I'm streaming. Plus, every member gets a badge and will be mentioned on the future videos in the description. Thanks for watching, and I see you guys later.